As soon as the waiter seated them, Jaime cast a shy glance at Liam. She liked it. Everything. She was giddy, overjoyed. She felt as if light beams were radiating off her head. An hour earlier, when Mrs. Zimmerman had appeared at the workshop door with a shocked, "What's this?" she had marched straight toward Jaime, who stood frozen like a deer in headlights, her heart pounding, her palms sweating. She shot a glance at Liam. His smile fell, and he raised a serious brow, as if to say to Jaime, "What have you done with my recipe?" "I can explain," she mouthed back, but suddenly Mrs. Zimmerman was circling her, quietly and cautiously, as if she were watching a rare bird on a feeder. "What is that?" "That? It's a parrot tulip." "And that?" "A calla lily called hot chocolate. Even its stems are dark." "Rare, aren't they? This is one of a kind, isn't it?" Well, yes and no. Floral arrangers certainly knew of black flowers, though they weren't commonly used in wedding arrangements. But Jaime sensed what Mrs. Zimmerman was truly asking. Once, after a particularly difficult mock-up meeting with her, Sloane had rolled her eyes and whispered to Jaime, "Nouveau riche," as if that explained everything. Jaime had to Google it. Newly rich, a derogatory term to describe persons who acquire wealth within their generation and spend it conspicuously. Jaime had never had any money at all, not old or new. But she did understand Mrs. Zimmerman's almost desperate need to be somebody. So she nodded and said what was true. "Mrs. Zimmerman, I highly doubt any of your friends would be familiar with black tulips or black calla lilies." Jaime knew that to be true because Sloane had given her the inside scoop to the Zimmermans' social circle. Mr. Zimmerman had warned his wife that not a single friend of theirs would want to schlep into Manhattan for a wedding, and that was the reason Mrs. Zimmerman chose the New York Botanical Garden for her daughter's wedding venue. The opinion of her friends mattered to her greatly. She had high hopes to impress them with this wedding. Mrs. Zimmerman was beaming. She turned on her heels toward Liam. "Liam, your girl finally got it right." It was like the sun had come out from behind a cloud. It was like a chorus of angels had started to sing. The waiter brought some bread and butter to the table. Liam held the bread basket out to her. She shook her head, too excited to eat. Not only did the mock-up meeting go better than she could have expected, now she was having a private lunch with Liam, just the two of them.